watching the station that works for you. Now, ABC2 News at 11.
Yeah, I wish I could wake up and I'd wake up at the firehouse and it would just be another regular day and my dad would still be here.
You have to get up and put your pants on and figuring out what the next step in your life is, and that's kind of where I am.
Planning a wedding, buying a vacation home, and teaching their kids.
We'll always remember the day they died protecting us. Tonight, their families want us to remember who they were off the job. Good evening, I'm Kelly Soup along with Jamie Costello. Tomorrow is the first anniversary of the deaths of 2 Harford County Sheriff's deputies.
And Brian Daly, for him, tomorrow will be the second worst day of his life. And tonight he talks about the man who raised him.
Proudest kid in the world to have my dad. He was a former Marine, police officer. He was definitely the greatest dad anyone could ever ask for.
We lost a hero. Brian lost his best friend, his father. Tears enough to overflow the Chesapeake.
I've definitely cried plenty of times, more than I can count on my hands.
Pat would offer his son fatherly advice like not to blow his money.
He just told me, like, just keep your head up. Never let anything get you down. You can get through anything.
And then there was the final conversation on February the 10th of last year. He remembers it word for word.
I actually had a head cold that day, so my nose was all stuffy, and I actually called him asking if he could pick me up some Mucinex, and he was like, yeah, it's going to be a little while. I'm up in Bel Air. I was like, okay, I love you. I'll see you soon.
On his way to get Mucinex, Pat got a call to go to Panera. Brian was at the firehouse. He looked down at his phone, looking at the police calls. He sees a call for a fall at the Panera. It later changed.
And then I see Harford County Sheriff's Officer shot, officer down, requesting aviation. I actually texted my dad. I was like, hey, are you okay that an officer shot at the Panera Bread? Are you okay? And I didn't get a response.
There would be no time for final goodbyes, just a final ride.
This is like probably the greatest way that we could honor my dad by taking him on his last ride on a fire engine.
And you know he talks to his dad every single day.
He hears all the good things that have happened. Like sometimes I'll be looking at stuff on my phone and I'll think, oh, my dad would like that, and I go to like call him and I'm like, oh wait, I kind of can't.
Brian thanks all of you for your support, especially his mom.
She's always been here for me and my brother through our whole life, and definitely been here for us since February 10th.
Brian just turned 21, had his official beer at Fogo.
Just raised my glass. I was like, this is to my dad. This is to Pat.
A toast to Dad. You know he took a sip of the holy beer. And this proves that Pat is still wearing his badge in heaven.
Some days I just kind of want to give up and just break down, but I just keep hearing my dad in my head saying, stay strong, you can get through this. I'm always here for you. I'm always here with you, protecting you, watching your back.
And we're watching over you, too. Brian's godparents, the Russells, do what godparents do. They took Brian in, and they're taking care of this young man who plans to enter the military. How proud Pat must be.
Just like his dad.
Yeah.
And Brian and his brother Josh will be attending all the ceremonies tomorrow, and they thank everyone for being so kind to them over the past year. You know, speaking of kindness, Jen